Say my name.
Welcome everyone to the League of Cinephiles. I'm Ozark, so I'm going to bring you more cinema-related competition. Today, we have another Cinema Wars matchup. We saw last matchup as Dave won his first Cinema Wars ever. He became the 5th ever champion of Cinema Wars. He defeated 6 other competitors in our first Cinema Wars of Season 1, the first horror Cinema Wars episode. Now, today, we will actually have a new champion. As Dave has decided to relinquish his crown, he will not be in this matchup. So we will have 5 new competitors, 5 individuals who have never actually become champion yet in Cinema Wars in the League of Cinephiles. And today's theme, television. We have 5 television experts, 5 individuals who like to spend their day binging shows or whatever have you. This is like the worst opening I've ever had. Okay, so let's get to my 2 co-hosts, two co-hosts that will help me decide this matchup. Luke Reviews, the captain of Cinephiles in Paradise, and Big J of Unyolo. I'm just going to ask you a quick question up front here. So we have 5 new competitors. Obviously, it's a huge matchup. We're going to get a first-time champion. So this is the first time ever that none of the competitors have ever won a Cinema Wars match before. So it's a really historic matchup here. So I'm just going to bring one name up here, Nikita. So Nikita obviously has to be the favorite coming in. He was the first one clamoring for a TV Cinema Wars episode. So I'm just going to ask you a question up front. With no previous Cinema Wars champion, I know Yolo and you're not in this match. I'm not in it. Tristan's not in it. Dave's not in it. MovieFest retired. If Nikita does not win this match, can he no longer be considered one of the best Cinema Wars players in the league?
So Nikita has been showing that he's a great player. He's amazing. He's like one of the best for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so he came 2nd place in his first matchup. He did well in the Battle Royale, and then he came 3rd place in the Horror Cinema Wars. Luke, I'll go over to you. Should Nikita be favored going to this match? Are there any other competitors you're looking out for to possibly win this?
Well, I think there's a certain fortunate fellow that has a pretty great shot at winning. He's also known as Lucky Boy. I remember he has beaten me in the first Cinema Wars I was ever in. That's why I drafted him. And
Unyolo, I'll go back to you real quickly. When you look at the faction rankings here, who do you think needs this win the most? It's going to be a big 4 points for whichever faction wins the match.
Does the Hunt have anyone playing? If they have anyone playing, yeah, so for sure them, because up to now, but they also are the ones that play the least, so
yeah,
they still have a lot of chances to recover.
Before we get to the competitors, anything else you guys would like to say?
I'm gonna show how you judge something very fairly, unlike Luke.
I will judge you. I've always judged fairly.
Joking.
There's one thing I know about Cinema Wars.
The judge has been eliminated.
It's you win or you die.
Let's get to the first competitor representing the Watchers, Excel Woods. Excel, how are you doing today?
Doing great.
Are you feeling any pressure on you today because you were a first-round pick? You know, expectations are high for you, mostly in trivia, but you're in Cinema Wars today. So are you feeling that pressure?
Kind of, but you know, I want to do this, you know?
Now let's get to the second competitor representing Cinephiles in Paradise, Lucky Boy Reviews. Whoa. How are you doing?
I'm good. I liked watching you judges. The intro was hilarious. I could have watched that conversation for a while. That was pretty funny. Yeah.
All right, so you go down, take a start, but just check locker 14. She puts her stuff at 14.
This episode gets better and better.
Text mom.
He is the captain of Gone with the Wind, also known as the Silent Killer, Nikita.
Oh, I got the Silent Killer shit. Yeah, here we are. I mean, I need to get this win for the team. You know, we need some points. We've been participating a lot, and the guys have been doing amazing.
Silent Killer. Looks like he's farting all the time.
Now representing the Hunt, he is one half of the Film Trivia Clash Duos Champions, Chris Hemsworth.
Hey guys, good to be here.
The 5th and final competitor representing the 5 Angry Men, it is Gaius. Guys, how are you doing today?
What up? How you guys doing today?
Let's get to the rules real quickly before you all destroy each other. So, 5 competitors. There will be 4 questions. Each round, there will be a television-related prompt in which the competitors in the match have never seen, and they must come up with an answer for said prompt. They will have 45 seconds for their opening arguments, and then after that 45 seconds, they will be muted after the opening arguments. Then we will go to a free debate. After the debate is over, myself, Luke, and Unyolo will judge the match. We will decide who will be eliminated each round, and then the final competitor remaining will win this match and earn 4 points for their faction. And then after the first 2 rounds, the competitors cannot have a repeated answer, so an answer can only come up 1 time. Let's get to the first prompt. Are the competitors ready?
Ready.
Yes, I'm ready.
What show should win Best Drama at the 2021 Emmys? So let's go to Excel first.
The Boys.
The Crown.
The Boys.
Oh wow, interesting. All right, so let's get started with Excel first.
Yeah, the second season really surprised me. Had a lot more chills and thrills. Homelander being taken down a peg, them like the boys breaking up actually kind of opens a bridge. It's like the third season.
None of these shows are even really that great. Some of them there's like 3 of them that are pretty decent, but The Crown is like quality every single season. Since season 1 has progressively gotten better, that it's never lacked in quality. It's kind of the same with like Modern Family shows like that like win consistently every year because the quality never lacked. Like it just keeps getting consistently better. It's perfect casting, very well done. Set pieces are incredible. I mean, this show is it's almost impeccable. Like
okay, so I mean, Lucky already said all the good features of The Crown in terms of production values and consistency, which is the key. And what is important, but I think the category is called Best Drama Show, and drama is Crown. It's always constant, the royal family debate, and this time they brought everyone's favorite Princess Diana. So yeah, I mean, Crown should win it because of consistency and quality drama, season after season, episode after episode, minute after minute.
So when it comes to drama, there's just no doubt. It's either Succession or The Crown. So it's a shame that Succession is not nominated, but it's The Crown, of course. Like Lucky Boy said, the aesthetics, the entire setup, the costume design, the music, right from the story progression, the insane amount of research, and how well they represent the characters they were portraying.
I went with The Boys because I think that it really stepped up its game from like season 1 to season 2.
Of course.
I think the scope got a lot bigger, and then just like, it would also be cool to kind of see the Emmys honor a genre show that's a bit irreverent, a bit different from what they typically honor. Like, I know like people are pointing out like The Crown like is kind of like thinks it's the best representation of what a drama should be, but it doesn't have to be something like The Crown or This Is Us. It could be something that The Boys is a little different and outside the box. And I would like to see the Emmys kind of honor a genre show for a change that is a little different from what we're used to getting.
Honestly, I don't even think of The Boys as a drama. I kind of always think of it as a comedy, and it's weird that it got looped into even the drama category. I mean, there is dramatic elements to it, but
yeah, it should have either been This Is Us or The Crown, but I think This Is Us just went downhill after third season. So I think Crown is like undisputed, when it comes to pure drama.
No, I was just saying that I think sometimes it's hard with certain shows like this to lump them in a certain category, because I remember back in the day with like something like Desperate Housewives would be billed as like a comedy, even though it was kind of like it kind of towed the line between being a comedy and sometimes a drama. I think that like something like The Boys, it kind of does fall in that kind of middle ground, and since there is no category for the middle ground, I think it kind of leans more over into drama than it does into comedy.
Yeah, because it can also deal with like real social issues too.
Well, yeah, that
I would say that The Boys is definitely one of the best shows like that in the nomination, and the season 2 was definitely supreme to season 1, and I absolutely loved it. But the first way I look at The Boys is a superhero show, and The Boys is the best superhero content we have right now because it's violent, it's different, and it's dramatic. But when we're talking about best drama show, you gotta go with like drama. In The Crown, there is no crazy violence, popping music, or any of that stuff. It's just humans, going through things and people that actually exist in real life.
So we're good. Okay, so I think we need a bit more time to discuss, and then we'll get back to you once we have a final decision.
One eternity later.
Handmaid's Tale.
Okay, so we made our decision. Bring back Luke and Unyolo. We were between 2. 3 of you are definitely safe. Like for sure safe. However, these two individuals, we want to have 1 minute of free debate between these two individuals to help us make our decision. And to make this even more tense, I'm going to remove you one by one. If you are removed from the stream, you are safe.
So extra.
He loves the drama.
Okay, so Krish and Excel, 1 minute, just a free debate between you two.
I mean, no disrespect towards the Crown, really. I'm a nerd. I like superhero drama, and like, because like The Boys, like I think this was like during the time when like, I don't know, I guess like admittedly for me, I was kind of like getting bored with all the super serious, edgy stuff. But like when I saw The Boys, like the first season, I'm like, yeah, this is gonna be something else. Like when you see this Superman guy like fly next to a plane and just blow it up.
Let's get to Krish. 25 seconds.
Yeah, like someone already said, when it comes to drama, Boys doesn't really fit anywhere near the particular genre. It would best fit in maybe comedy or I would say thriller for that matter. Drama is like, of course, there are conversations they are discussing, but nowhere close to Crown.
All right, Luke, you wanna say it to everybody who we're eliminating?
I mean, I don't, but I can. We have gone for Mr. Excel Woods.
My boy's partner, no.
I regret to inform.
Thank you for letting me show my love for The Boys.
So that means Excel Woods has been eliminated. We are down to 4 individuals. So let's get to the second question. Again, this is the last question in which you can have repeated answers. What is the best MCU TV show?
Picking out,
done. Already done. Is there any other answer?
I think we're all going to pick the same one.
Yeah.
And argue each
Okay,
other.
so everybody's ready.
Yeah.
One division.
Oh.
Krish?
I'll say What If.
What If?
Yeah.
WandaVision.
Yeah, so compared to all the other 3 shows that have been released before What If, I really feel that they all let down towards the end of the show. Even WandaVision was good, but the end it was just a mess. But What If, given the fact that it's an anthology, each and every single episode has its own flair, and the kind of uniqueness each episode brings in is amazing. Especially that Doctor Strange episode, it was amazing. That's the darkest Marvel has ever went to, and I think that's the best episode of all the 6 that have come out.
All right, I went with WandaVision because, like, on paper, it seems like it shouldn't work because you're blending like these like kind of old school sitcom tropes with a superhero show, but it somehow does because based on like Wanda's character and getting into her psyche, she has used these kind of sitcom things to kind of block out this trauma that has happened to her and that kind of bring her love back into her life. And I kind of like what the show says about I guess like one's mental state and the things that they do to kind of forget things that they've gone through.
I think what WandaVision did great as a TV show is that it brought all these comedic elements into it, and it showed the evolution from the 50s, the sitcom 60s, the black and white, all the way throughout the genres, including the modern family representation, which was well done. And this whole comedic aspect, even though not everything was, let's say, hilarious, but there were a lot of funny parts, and the way the show as a television production portrayed itself was very well done. And yes, it did dip in the end, and I'm the one who said it in my review as well. But until the very end, it was an excellent production, as I said.
So I chose Loki just because that was the first Marvel show that every single week I couldn't wait to get back and see like the next episode. Like every single episode, like even WandaVision, I stopped watching it midway through and just kind of caught up with it at the end. Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I didn't even finish, but Loki, every single episode, I could not wait till and every episode delivered. Like it was hilarious. I loved every single character in it. But I mean, Owen Wilson made that show. I haven't connected that much to a Marvel character in so long that like losing him, I was like devastated. In the moment where I thought he was gone, I was like, holy shit.
Okay, I mean, I love your enthusiasm. All right, debate. Off with you, peasants.
Yeah, I really love
Loki. I think Loki was really good up until the penultimate episode. I think the final episode was like a sandwich of so many aspects which I could not even understand. I mean, I had to go through a lot of explanation videos and explanation articles. I was discussing with Nikita the other day, and I really could not digest the fact that they crammed up a lot of stuff which the non-MCU comic fans would not even understand.
I think ultimately all these MCU shows are literally fillers for the movies, much like half of the movies nowadays anyway. Mm-hmm. And yes, WandaVision is a filler, and so is Loki, and so is Falcon Winter Soldier. And What If might be different, but What If, like, half the episodes are nice and the other half are big misses, like the one we just came out yesterday, like on Wednesday. But for WandaVision, yes, it did drop in the end, as I said, but it built up this whole magic aspect to a whole new level, because magic was something very small, very minuscule in MCU, and the WandaVision made it something huge.
Yeah, I mean, I liked WandaVision as well too, because I liked that they were taking chances. Like, it was different, it was unique, and like I was like, all right, like I could get into it. But then midway through the season, I was like, it kind of just lost me. Like, I was just like, all right, I'll catch back up. Like, I basically just wanted to kind of binge it, almost just to get through it. And then with Loki, the last episode, there's so much to unpack. Like, it's crazy. That last dialogue that he was going through, and like that actor, I mean, it was hard for him to really carry that scene because it was just so much going on. But I've actually rewatched it a couple times because I want to really know what's going on, because clearly it's setting up so much.
I want to piggyback off of that because you said that WandaVision took chances, and I think that's what kind of sets it apart from the other shows, is that it did take a lot of chances. Because I remember going on Twitter, especially during like the first 2 or 3 episodes, where certain fans just didn't get some of the sitcom tropes that they were trying to use because they weren't really familiar with the shows from like way back in the day. And you had to kind of wait to kind of see how that all was going to fit in. And I know that there's been said that some of the Marvel shows are filler shows, but I think that WandaVision really does set up where we will find Wanda Scarlet Witch when she's in Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness. I think that kind of sets her up for where she'll be introduced again there.
For the Loki part, as you said, Lucky Boy, the last episode was so big, but at the same time, the last episode, like, it makes you feel like you're taking a university course and you need to go and watch videos and understand things. And when I watch a TV show, especially an MCU TV show, I want to relax and chill. It's a superhero series.
I'll just kind of defend that a little bit. I just like that it was challenging. It was something unique. It made me like intrigued again. Like, I was like, holy shit, like, what just happened? I want to understand more. But then even with WandaVision, the first 4 episodes or so, it even though it's like a clever thing, it almost kind of repeats what it's doing a little bit too. It goes from generation to generation, but they could have even done that in like 2 episodes and you kind of get the point.
All right, that's going to end it. So now myself, Luke, and Unyolo will make a decision on the second person who will be eliminated.
One eternity later.
It's poopy poop.
Okay, so we've made our decision. We've decided on 2 individuals who we want to go to another sudden death, 1 minute overtime. So if I remove you from the stream, if I remove you from the stream, you are safe. Christian, Lucky Boy, 1 minute on the clock.
Okay, so the thing about What If is like it's a dream come true for the fans. I mean, they just brought in literally every single fan fiction into this series. Like, just like literally the title, What If T'Challa became, the Black Panther, or What If Doctor Strange.
So just defending Loki, I mean, I kind of said mainly what I feel about it, that that was the first show that I was like, it's the best show. It was the first one where I was like really actively engaged with the show. Like, I loved, there were new characters that they were introducing that I really liked. Like, even the alternate versions of Loki were just super entertaining. And like the old guy, when he sacrifices himself at the end, like I got emotional, and like I didn't connect that way to any Marvel show other than that one.
This is tough. It's a tough one. We've decided to eliminate Nikita. No, I'm just kidding. He was out of the
Nikita didn't say nothing now, so I think we should take him out.
Okay, so unfortunately, the person we decided to eliminate between Krish and Lucky Boy is going to be Lucky Boy Reviews. Lucky Boy,
just decided because we thought you defended a lot why it's the best show for you, but you didn't say enough why it's the best show for everyone. What's the strengths in the show? What's the weaknesses in the others?
I mean, I guess I don't know how other people think about the shows. I don't watch it with other people. I watch it for myself. So I guess fair enough.
Lucky Boy Reviews has been eliminated. We are down to a final 3. Chris has survived 2 straight sudden death, 1 minute overtime. So let's get to the next question. Oh, we have to have this one in there. What is the most overrated modern TV show of all time? So obviously we're talking about modern age TV shows. 80s and up or 90s and up.
It's like not modern at all. Can we have like 2 minutes at the...
Yeah, sure.
He's like, the 80s isn't modern. I get what
I was not born in the 80s. I mean,
I thought it was after 2000, but he went the 80s, and I was like, oh,
I'm glad you went 90s. That's good.
I think I'd say Brooklyn Nine-Nine for this.
Yeah.
Mine is Money Heist.
Friends.
The Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
I knew it.
Let's go to Chris.
Yeah, so Money Heist probably had a lot of reception and a lot of recognition because it was the first foreign TV show that everyone started watching, and then there was a huge buzz going around. And then when I started watching it, I was like skipping half of it. I mean, they were unnecessary flashbacks, unwanted twists. I mean, the ultimate plot twist at the end of season 1 was so weak that you can see from miles away. I mean, it's so overrated that people have hyped it so much that when someone new who hasn't watched the earlier seasons and go into that show with a lot of expectations, they have come back to me and said how disappointed they were with the entire premise.
I went with Friends because I've never quite understood the overall appeal of Friends, especially because, like, as a sitcom, I don't think it's entirely original. It's been done before. In fact, you can Google it. A year before Friends came out, there was a show called Living Single that had like the same basic plot thread as Friends, and someone that worked on that show actually went and did work on Friends for its like first season. So a lot of the stuff that Friends did, it had been done before. And for a show that's set in New York, there isn't a lot of representation of what New York should kind of look like in that era that Friends exists. As far as like diversity and everything, it just doesn't really speak to everyone, even though it's sold as a show that apparently does speak to everyone.
So I actually watched 4 seasons of Brooklyn Nine-Nine before actually giving up on it because, I mean, yes, the show has its moments. I mean, Jake Peralta is funny, and there are like some moments that are hilarious, but they're literally moments. You know, you have to watch maybe one episode for 20 minutes and just laugh once. And when you compare it with shows like The Office or Big Bang Theory or Modern Family or anything where laughter is constantly supplied with likable characters, something I would like to make an emphasis on because Brooklyn Nine-Nine has barely anyone likable in it.
Okay, no offense. I'm just simply going to disagree with your stand on the Friends. I mean, it's the first TV show most of us, watched, the people from outside the US. And I would say it's perfectly rated. I mean, your point about not talking enough about New York, I'm not going to agree to that. It's just a bunch of friends drinking coffee, doing some nasty or stupid things. It's not about New York.
I wasn't trying to say that Friends should be about New York. I was just saying that, like, if you have a show that's set in New York with, that was supposed to represent New York in the 90s, then I think you would have a show that would feature a cast that didn't all look the same and pretty much almost act the same. Like, even the creator of the show now, when they were doing the reunion, said if they made that show today, they would have actually made the show more diverse because that really isn't what New York really looked like.
So I'm going to first have to defend the Money Heist because, I mean, season 1 was, I think, the most addictive season 1 experience since Prison Break, the first season, where I could not stop watching. Yes, it's a lot of drama, but we have to understand it's a Spanish show. It has drama in its nature, so there has to be a lot of drama and talks, and people look at each other and say wild things because they made it for themselves.
Yeah, you would definitely change your mind if you had watched the latest season. I can bet on it.
But I would not call it overrated, for example. Like, for example, Brooklyn Nine-Nine is talked about everyone, and because I think people see snippets on the internet, they put some funny videos on Facebook. I laugh at them because I've seen those moments, but I know that 10 minutes before and 10 minutes after, it's literally nothing happening. And it's these people going around trying to pretend they're The Office.
So that's going to end it. So now we have a big decision to make on our hands.
One eternity later.
Okay, so we've made our decision. We're not going to another overtime here. We've We've made our decision. The individual who we have decided to eliminate, it was very close. We have decided to eliminate Gaius from the match. His point about New York, his point at the end about the lack of diversity in Friends was good. However, his point about New York City we didn't think was relevant, especially Krish's rebut that the show is not necessarily about New York City. It's more about this group of friends doing stuff.
No, it's all good. This is always fun, and I actually think that a small victory for me is that when I'm not eliminated first, so I will take getting that far.
All right, so Gaius has been eliminated, so we have a final to the two individuals who arguably pushed for this match the most, Krish and Nikita. Nikita actually was the one who brought Krish to my attention and got Krish to join the League of Cinephiles. So now he has to defeat Krish for the 4 points, or Krish has a chance to earn the first points for the hunt in season 2. The final question. What is the best Netflix original show?
You know, like House of Cards was my first original choice. Then Dark was as well in the mix, but I think I'm going to go with Narcos.
I'm going to go with Mindhunter.
Okay, let's start.
Okay, so reason why I went with Narcos, first of all, is because it started well, it ended well. Okay, so that we got that covered, you know. And at the same time, Narcos is something that's uniquely different. You know, that's what I think one of the reasons why Money Heist became so popular is because Narcos introduced this whole Spanish-themed shows, and the way it was executed about someone like Pablo Escobar, because people saw how much people love Breaking Bad, how they like rooting for the antagonist, and they did the same thing with Pablo Escobar. And we all know Pablo Escobar is a bloody villain, you know, and they showed his rise and downfall and then the whole Cali cartel situation to kind of bring down the whole story to the end.
And the reason why I chose Mindhunter is because the way it sets up a certain mood right from the start. It just so slowly takes you on that thrilling ride, and it gives on those clues, and then these two guys chasing those bits and pieces of the murders that the perpetrators have left behind. Right from depicting the real life killers like Ed Kemper or Charlie Manson or the BTX killer, they have been spot on when depicting the facts that have taken place in real life. The Narcos is like one of my favorite TV shows as well. That's one of the first TV shows that I watched, and I loved Narcos. But after Pablo Escobar was killed, I think it went a little downhill, even though the quality of the show was really good. But it was not as good as the first 2 seasons were. I mean, they were amazing. I could not even blink my eye. I just binged it in 2 days. But after Pablo was killed, the series picks off and veers off into a different plot, and it just went downhill for me. But whereas for Mindhunter, the second season was just way better than the first one, and the thrill never ended. I mean, each and every single episode, it arrests your attention, and I really wanted to know what was going to happen in the coming episodes. And
while I do love the Mindhunter, the question was, what is the best Netflix original show? And the fact that Mindhunter was canceled kind of sends a message here, because yes, I know, Unyolo, you're a huge fan of Mindhunter.
No, it's not canceled. David Fincher announced that he's coming back to it.
Okay, we're still waiting for that.
Okay, let's stay on. Let's stay.
We're not debating with Unyolo, but I'm going to continue with Narcos, because Mindhunter is a crime show, and something like this has been done in a movie, or we had, of course, True Detective. Someone always compares anything crime nowadays to True Detective because it's the canon, and then Mindhunter is very similar to that, or to other movies even. But Narcos, yes, it's about drugs and whatnot, but the style of it all, the fact that everything was in Spanish the whole time and everyone watched with subtitles. And I know how a lot of my friends hate watching stuff not in English, but everyone was glued to the screen watching that Spanish language TV show because of how invested everyone was. Because of Pablo,
I mean, the amount of research that they have put in for Narcos is like mind blowing. I mean, the kind of even the minute thing that they tell you about Pablo Escobar is true, and I was blown away. I mean, honestly, I loved it. But like I said, I have like hundreds of people who have watched Narcos on my suggestion, and they just came back and praised the show for the first 2 seasons, and then the third season they were on board with my opinion as well. I mean, they just did not like it, even though it was good. But compared to the first two seasons, third season was nowhere near to the first two. But Mindhunter, everyone loved both the seasons equally.
Narcos is something that, it's highly accessible to everyone. Mindhunter, you have to be kind of a crime niche. You need to be into thrillers, into killings, into serial killers. But Narcos
I agree, but just the one point, I don't think Narcos would appeal to all the audience. I mean, it's given the fact that it's 18 plus, I don't think everyone would connect with the drug addiction and the explicitity of the show. Not appealing to all the audience.
Narcos is not about drug addiction. It's about business. It's about being an empire. It's about being influential. It's like why people like House of Cards. It's everything is corrupt. But the character, the whole politics, and the way you establish yourself is what people enjoy. And the same way why people like Breaking Bad. Everyone knows meth is bad and everyone hates meth, but everyone likes that building of an empire, that antagonist you root for.
That was a great debate. We were going back and forth.
One eternity later.
Spill the beans. These guys are holding up for a long time.
It's a big decision to make,
Yeah.
Because there's personal bias, who hates what show,
One eternity later.
So let me just say, first of all, that was an amazing round. Both of you, I mean, I could tell right away. You guys know your TV. In the group chat we had, we went back and forth on which one of you we thought was better, but ultimately we made our decision. Anyways, so, and your winner and new CINEMAWARS champion of the world, Nikita!
You're goddamn right.
So, Nikita, this is your first, actually, I mean, it's hard to believe, but this is your first win ever in the League of Cinephiles. We were actually split. I voted for you to win. Unyolo voted for Krish. And Luke made the deciding vote, and he wanted you to win this match.
That's why. Unyolo got triggered, yeah. I knew it would happen, and it was a sneaky move to pick that show, yeah.
So any words here is, again, it's hard to believe, but it's your first win in the league after being here for so long. Again, I know how passionate you are about CINEMAWARS. What does this win mean to you and your faction?
I mean, first of all, it's strong 4 points to the boys. I'm very happy, I can't wait for them to see this and to know that we won. It's not just me, it's the team, it's a whole thing. I'm as happy for when they perform and whether win or lose. And I mean, I love debating with Krish because we always talk about TV shows on Instagram because, I mean, we're both TV addicts, hardcore.
How does this also feel as you are now welcome into the Hall of Champions, which includes Unyolo, Tristan, MovieFest UK, Dave, and of course myself? What does it mean that you are now recognized as one of the best?
Well, hopefully it's not the last time, So yeah, there's plenty more CINEMAWARS to go, and I hope to win in the movies one.
And then also, it has also been announced that the next CINEMAWARS we're having is a Fast and Furious CINEMAWARS. Do you have any words for those in the competition, as you will be the defending champion going into that match?
Yes, I am gonna have a few harsh words, especially about everything after like part 5. Let's go massacre. I'm bringing on my chainsaw and let's go, yeah.
So that is Nikita. Let's get over to Krish. Krish, it was a wild ride for you, my friend. I mean, first 2 rounds, we had to go into sudden death overtimes, and then we eliminated Gaius in the third, which left you and your buddy Nikita. How does it feel to get this far? Were you disappointed by the result? Were you happy with how you did?
I was not disappointed. I mean, it's good that I lost to the right one. And like I said, we both, even if we had exchanged the answers, we would have defended it equally. And I just, right from the start, I knew that something told me that I'm going to end up with Nikita in the final round, and that happened.
Let's get over to Luke and Unyolo. Before we depart, what are your thoughts on this matchup, how it went? Our winner, Nikita, as he is now the defending champion. What are your thoughts?
I just think Nikita is amazing.
It's a worthy win.
And he did what we were talking before. He was saying why it was good, not for him, but like in a general way, what was so good about the show and the bad things and the good things.
How does this win affect Gone with the Wind? They are now tied with you, Cinephiles in Paradise.
And we have some competitions coming up that I think we have a pretty great shot at winning. We're gonna go to the top and beat those 4 angry dudes.
It's 5.
But the team is called 4 Angry Men.
We renamed it 5. I will debut the new logo. Luke, I mentioned the Fast and Furious Cinema Wars. Any words to the other competitors who you'll face off against in that soon-to-be thrilling matchup? Any words?
Daddy's got to go to work.
All right, so that is going to do it for this Cinema Wars matchup. Nikita taking home the win for Gone with the Wind in a thrilling matchup. Krish getting second place. He was in 2 straight sudden death overtimes. If you haven't already, please like the video, subscribe, hit that bell icon to get notified on all our latest simulated competition. Make sure to follow all the individuals in this match on their respective accounts. The links for those will be down in the description below. Thank you for watching. Ciao, everyone.